Check 1 2, check 1 2, mic check 1 2, 1 2, 1 2. Check 1 2, check 1 2, mic check 1 2. Check 1 2. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. You are watching the Left Coast Hockey League live on youtube.com/TimesacUVU. It is win or go home for the defending champion San Jose Snipes. The Quakes took a pretty dominating game last night, but a pretty even game on Sunday. So let's see if the Snipes can bounce back. They're going to need to win 3 straight in order to advance to the semifinals, but enough out of me. Let's get down to the ice. Ladies and gentlemen, we are live here in your mother's hotbox in sweaty San Jose, California. Could be the first and last playoff game this fan base will get to watch. Snipes looking to hold on, force a game 4. Crosby and Matthews take the faceoff at center ice. Let's get down to the ice. Faceoff won by the Snipes. Ekholm in the zone. Horrible pass there, dumps it into the corner. Taken by Kucherov. Kucherov up for Crosby. He will gain the zone. Back for Werneski. Werneski's poked off, but recovered by Crosby. Back to a point for Hamilton. For Werneski. Werneski for Crosby. One-time blast from the point. Saved by Bobrovsky. All the way comes Ekholm, though. Turned over. Taken by Werneski. Battling for it is Matthews, but he's going to get hit off. Back for Crosby for Werneski. Tired legs out there for the Quakes. Picked up by Brady Tkachuk. Tkachuk will carry it in with help. Looking for Keller. Keller shot. Saved by Swayman. Back to the point for Fox for Ekholm. Ekholm for Tkachuk. Tkachuk shot. Saved by Swayman. Goes into the corner. Picked up by Werneski, but recovered. Taken by Scheifele. Shot and save. Swayman. Recovered by Scheifele. Full pressure for the Snipes. Snipes are buzzing. Fox back to Shifley for Ekholm. Ekholm shot, save. Picked up by Werneski, pinched into the boards. Valley Ford is Crosby, but picked up by the Snipes. Fox blasted. Goes off the glass, but stays in. Taken by Werneski. Up for Panarin. Exhausted legs out there for the Quakes. He's hit off. Corralled though by Dunn. Dunn will bring it all the way back. Quakes possibly looking for a change. Nope, sent up for Connor. Connor in the zone, sending pass to Duchesne. Shot is blocked. Sent up for Terry for Ekholm. Ekholm into the boards, turns it over. Taken by Duchesne. He'll gain the zone. Harass, sealed off. Pass to Fox, up for Shifley. Shifley for Troy Terry. Terry in the zone with Fox. Fox's shot is blocked, goes wide. Dunn up for Anderson. Big slap shot is blocked. Goes wide, picked up by Forsling. 10 hits already for the Snipes. They're trying to beat him down. Offsides is Quakes. They'll have to touch up. Sanderson for Doughty. Up for Verhaeghe. Verhaeghe dumps him into the corner. Set for Tavares for Pettersson. For Heischer. Heischer will gain the zone. Waiting for reinforcements, but he's hit off. Taken by Ovechkin. Ovechkin for Verhaeghe. Up for Raymond. Raymond in the zone. Takes a shot. Save Bobrovsky. Rebound. Picked up by Heischer. Up for Tavares. Tavares in for Pettersson. Pettersson passes it back. It's intercepted, but recovered by Pettersson. Up for Tavares. Tavares hit hard into the boards. Heischer tried to center it, but got hit. Other way comes Ovechkin. Still waiting for I think the first freaking whistle of this game. Gone back and forth, back and forth. Taken by Tavares. Tavares turns it over. It's taken by Boldy. Boldy in the zone. Centering pass for Konechny. Konechny shoots. He scores! With about 15 minutes of uninterrupted play, Travis Konechny buries it early here. Well, not early, on the first shift. First shift of the first period. Just barely missed his own guy, screening Bobrovsky. And that's going to quiet this crowd down. Just through so much traffic, Bobrovsky could not get an eye on it. And just like that, Los Angeles up 1-0. Los Angeles looking to complete the sweep here tonight. Stamkos face off one by the Snipes. Dillon up for Bukestad. Bukestad sealed off into the boards. Nelson up for Boldy for Konechny. Konechny looking for another one. Konechny hitting the boards. Pass is intercepted by Cirelli. Cirelli up for Bukestad. Bukestad in the zone looking for Dillon. Dillon shoots. He scores! Just like that, they tie it back up. Brendan Dillon from Bukestad and Cirelli at 14-13 here in the first period. Snipes will not go quietly. Just over the glove of Swayman. Beautiful pass by Bukestad. And here late in the first period, we have a brand new hockey game. Shifley and Brock Nelson will take the faceoff at center ice. 5.5 left here in the first period. Boldy in for Nelson. Nelson shot. Saved by Bobrovsky. Up for Shifley for Terry. Terry gets it to Larkin. Dylan Larkin looking for Shifley. Shifley unable to pull the trigger. Turned over, taken by the Quakes. Battling for it is Connor. Connor gets it to Dunn. Dunn for Anderson. Mikey Anderson hit off at the red line. Taken by Terry. Terry's hit. Snipes need to touch up. Back to Terry. Terry's absolutely gassed though. Probably looking for the bench. Up for Dylan Larkin. Larkin for Miller. Miller takes a shot. Glove save. Swayman. And he'll cover with 3:07 left here in the first period. Snipes playing with purpose. They do not want to get swept. Goes without saying. Top lines out for both teams. Matthews and Crosby. Face off back in the LA zone. Face-off won by the Quakes. Hamilton. Renesky in front. He's able to hold on. Gets it back to Hamilton. Hamilton for Renesky. Up for Panarin. Panarin. He's poked off. It's taken by the Snipes. Forsling. Forsling neutral zone. Looking for Keller. Keller back with the truck. Up front is Matthews. Backhand. Glove save. Swayman. Full pressure for the Snipes if they win this faceoff. Top line still out. Crosby, Matthews. Faceoff won by the Quakes though. Weneski for Hamilton. Up for Kucherov. Kucherov unable to get in the zones. Taken by Tkachuk. Up for Keller. Keller makes a move. It's turned over. Taken by Hamilton. But Hamilton battling for it. Keller will win the battle. Keller backhand. Saved by Swayman. He'll cover for a whistle with 21.5 left here in the first. Face off in the LA zone. Quick face-off win here would give them full pressure, but not enough time to do much with it. Face-off, though, is won by the Quakes. Dowdy for Ovechkin. Ovechkin, reverse hit. 5 seconds left. Ekholm passes it for some reason, and that's going to do it here for the first period. Quakes off to an early lead, but the Snipes answer to tie it up at 1. Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching the Left Coast Hockey League COVID Cup Playoffs Wild Card Round. We'll be right back after these messages. All right, we are back. Let's take a look at the stats through the first period. The Snipes out shooting the Quakes by 4. Score is tied. Hits are about even. Time and attack going slightly to the Snipes, the more aggressive team. But winning in the faceoff dot is the Quakes, and that's going to be really important coming here in this tight game. Let's get back down to the ice for the start of the second period. Back here in your mother's hot box in sweaty San Jose, California, keeping it musky, keeping it funky. Austin Matthews, Sidney Crosby, face-off at center ice. Let's get the second period underway. Face-off won by the Snipes. Ekholm for Keller. Keller surrounded, though, gets it for Tkachuk. He's hit off, but he will not recover it. Sent up for Kucherov. Kucherov in the zone with Crosby and Panarin. He's poked off, taken. Sent up for Keller. Keller for Matthews. Matthews for Brady Tkachuk. Tkachuk holds on. Puts it up front. One-time shot is poked off. The other way, the Quakes. Crosby. He's hit off, though, taken by Ekholm. Ekholm's hit, but recovered by Matthews. Matthews for Tkachuk. Up for Keller. Playing Keller in the zone. He gets hit. Shot goes wide. sent back up for Kucherov. Kucherov waiting for some help, but turned over. Taken by Keller. Keller up for Tkachuk. Poked off once again. Taken by Reneski for Kucherov. Back and forth, up for Duchesne. Snipes looking for a change. Keller. Pass intercepted, taken by the Quakes. Anderson. Anderson in the zone. Centering pass broken up by Tkachuk. It is Mark Scheifele. Scheifele gets it for Harley. Comes Harley for Terry. Terry takes the shot. Saves Swayman. He'll cover up even though the puck was loose. Get a quick whistle there by our officials. All right, face-off back in the Los Angeles zone. Scheifele and Duchesne. Face-off is won by the Quakes. Done for Anderson. Mikey Anderson will carry it in. He's hit off. Shot is saved by Bobrovsky. We'll hold on. 4:33 left here in the second period. Score still tied at 1. Face-off back in the San Jose zone. It'll be Scheifele and Duchesne once again. Face-off is won by the Quakes. Sanderson. Sanderson shot. Blocker to the side by Bobrovsky. Scheifele sends it up to Dylan Larkin. Larkin. He's hit open ice, but is able to recover. He'll gain the zone. Dylan Larkin in the slot. Not much on that shot, though. Recovered, though, by Terry. Terry back to the point. Back for Dylan. Dylan takes a shot. It's blocked and taken by Brad. Just for Brad, up for Drew Doughty. Doughty for Duchesne. Taken by Connor. Tired legs out there for the Quakes. Picked up by Miller. For Doughty. For Raymond. Raymond slap shot through traffic. Saved by Bobrovsky, and he'll hold on. 11:41 left here in the second period. I'm sorry, I keep calling Anderson Mikey Anderson. It's Rasmus Anderson. My apologies. I don't think anybody has Mikey Anderson. Taken by Heeshear. Heeshear. Centering pass saved by Swayman. Pass up for Raymond, up for Doughty. Doughty back for Raymond, for Ovechkin. Ovechkin slap shot from the point. Saved Bobrovsky. LA starting to catch up on shots. Score still tied. Full pressure for LA if they win this faceoff. For Heggie and Stamkos. Faceoff back in the San Jose zone. It is won by the Quakes. Reneski back to Hamilton. One-time blast goes wide. Picked up by Fox for Cirelli. Cirelli for Stamkos. Stamkos back check. And looks like we're going to have a penalty. Cross-check is going to be the call on Verhaeghe. Cross-check right to the numbers. Stick clipped through his whole body, completely impaled. That man should be dead. But 2 minutes at 9:31 for Verhaeghe. First power play of this game. Matthews and Nelson will take the faceoff back in the LA zone. Faceoff is won by the Snipes. Scheifele for Keller. Keller shot. Save. Rebound. Shot goes wide. Full pressure for the Snipes. Scheifele battling for it in the boards. It is recovered by Scheifele. Scheifele back to the point for Tavares. Tavares for Forsling. Forsling slap shot. Saved by Swayman. Recovered by the Snipes. Clayton Keller. Her shot saved by Swayman. Gonna hold on. Matthews, sharp angle. Holds on. Scheifele shot up front. Rebound. Oh, and they can't bury it with Swayman down. Matthews looking to tuck it in. We'll take it by Reneski. And a merciful clear there for the Quakes. 35 left here in the power play. Tavares. Tavares for Forsling. Snipes going to keep the same line out. For Tavares. Tavares shot. Glove save. Swayman. And you'll hold on. 7:31 left here in the second. 10 seconds left on the power play. Some great looks there for San Jose, but unable to bury it. Larkin and Duchesne will take the faceoff. Faceoff is won by the Quakes. Rasmus Anderson will clear it center ice, but recovered by Fox. That's going to do it for the power play. Brady to Chuck in the zone. He'll dump it in. He'll give chase. Pass up for Bratt. He'll gain the zone, waiting for reinforcements, surrounded by teal sweaters. Picked up by Larkin. Larkin, unable to do anything with it, has a stick knocked out of his hand, absolutely leveled. Other way comes Duchesne for Doughty. Doughty slap shot, hits the post. Kept in, though, by the Quakes. Just for Brad up front. Centering pass, Duchesne. Shot goes high. Full pressure for the Quakes. One-time blast. Brad save Bobrovsky. Goaltender absolutely gassed, but he will hold on. 4:50 left here in the second period. Quakes absolutely buzzing. You don't know how he didn't get that one. Stamkos and Crosby will take the face-off back to San Jose zone. Face-off won by the Snipes. Fox. Fox will carry it in himself, but he's hit off by Crosby. Big hit on Crosby, but he recovers. Sidney Crosby looking for Panarin. Back for Anderson. Crosby's backhand up front. Bobrovsky couldn't see it. Batted it to the side, though, went wide. For Kucherov. Back for Doughty. Doughty slap shot. They shoot. They score. Drew Doughty with an absolute rocket. His first of these playoffs. Take a look at that. Doughty blasted through traffic. Thought it might have went off a defenseman, but from that angle, it looks all him. Oh, no, it did. It did bounce off a defenseman. Same lines were made out. Stamkos and Crosby. 3 minutes left here in the second period. Snipes facing elimination. There is no tomorrow for this team if they do not win. And it's Sorelli. Sorelli absolutely leveled. Taken by Doughty. Doughty for Sanderson. Up for Panarin. Top line out for the Quakes. Kucherov shot. Blocker save. The other way comes Miller. Miller up for Tkachuk. Tkachuk, he's poked off, but kept... Oh, just barely. Almost kept in by Matthews. Face-off will come back to the neutral zone. Matthews and Duchesne. 1:09 left here in the second. Face-off is won by the Snipes. Horsling's hit by Duchesne. Scrum for the puck. It's won by the Snipes. Tkachuk for Harley. Harley for Matthews. Matthews shot. Saved by Swayman. Unable to keep it in. Connor the other way. 15 seconds left. Looking for one more shot. Connor for Duchesne. Pass is broken up with 6 seconds left. One more shot if they hurry. And they're not going to take it. And that's going to do it for the second period. The Los Angeles Quakes go up by 1. The Snipes 0 for 1 on the power play. But ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back with the start of the third period. You're watching the Left Coast Hockey League live on youtube.com/DimeSackUVU. And we'll be right back.
Feeling frozen, she open. Sucking me for Chuck E. Cheese tokens to Rosen. I've been getting buckets on the cold and some chosen. Told this bitch he having trouble coping. I'm nasty. Guarantee the pigs don't ever catch me. I'm sassy. Walking in this bitch like Freddie Blassie. They asked me how I got so motherfucking classy. I told them I put lotion on my elbows when they ashy. I popped in with the K-Swiss. I remember back when I had braces. Everybody used to call me basic. Now I'm pulling up and ain't nobody wanna say shit. Yeah, I'm stone cold with the black vest. Ayy, I'm backstage, you don't get access. Ayy, my shit popping like an abscess. I get your ass man.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Let's take a look through the stats through 2 periods. The Quakes up by 1, shots about even. Hits are just about even, slightly going to LA. Time on attack going to the San Jose Snipes. Face-offs, though, they have caught up a bit, but still down by 1. Let's get back down to the start of this 3rd period. It's win or go home for the Snipes. Can they hold on? We are back here in your mother's hot box in sweaty San Jose, California. Smells like fish, and it's not on the ice, it's in the stands. Matthews and Crosby take the face off. Won by the Quakes, Weneski. Weneski in the zone with speed. Looking for Panarin, backhand shot, saved Bobrovsky. Poked after the whistle, that puck did go in. Snipes will not be happy about that. Matthews and Crosby will stay out once again. Face-off is won by the Quakes. Got it for Hamilton. Shot goes wide. Picked up by Keller. Keller for Fox. He's hit. Kept in by Panarin. Panarin for Weneski. For Hamilton. Hamilton. Big slap shot. Glove save. Bobrovsky. Quakes looking to seal the deal here. Coming out very aggressive. Full pressure if they win this face-off. They've been winning face-offs throughout this game. Top line stay out. Matthews, Crosby. Everyone's fully gassed. Face-off, though, won by the Snipes. Ekholm. Ekholm will dump it in. They'll give chase. Taken by Hamilton. Hamilton up for Kucherov. Kucherov in with Crosby with numbers. Crosby for Kucherov for Panarin. Panarin shot glove save. And they'll hold on. 17:31 left here in the 3rd period. Snipes need 1 to tie it. Scheifele and Crosby will take the face-off. The face-off is won by the Quakes. Hamilton for Weneski. Shot is saved. Bobrovsky, he'll hold on. Full pressure for the Quakes. But that will give the Snipes the ability to change. But they're going to keep second line out. Scheifele. First line still out for the Quakes. Face-off is won by the Snipes. Ekholm. Ekholm for Fox. Up for Troy Terry. Terry in the zone for Larkin. Larkin takes a shot, saves Swayman. And he'll hold on. 16:38 left here in the 3rd period. Seems like the first line for the Quakes, infinite energy. Crosby stays out. Weneski up for Panarin. Panarin. Pass is broken up, taken by Terry. Terry kicks it off the boards, comes all the way back San Jose zone. Picked up by Forsling. Forsling hit very hard. And the Quakes take over. Hamilton. Hamilton, lazy backhand. Easy save, Bobrovsky. 15:08 left here in the 3rd period. Face-off still back in the San Jose zone. Heischer and Duchesne. Face-off is won by the Quakes. Weneski shot. Blocker saved. Goes wide. Full pressure once again for the Quakes. Picked up, though, by Forsling. Forsling gets it up for Heischer. Heischer to Tavares. Tavares, he's hit hard. Sent up for Bratt. Bratt gets it for Duchesne. Duchesne, he's hit. Taken up to Connor's shot. Save Bobrovsky. Forsling absolutely gassed. San Jose unable to change defenseman, and they're back 2-on-1. Asking for Duchesne. Duchesne shot, rebound. Picked up by Tavares. Snipes in desperate need of a line change. 12.5 left here in the 3rd period. Snipes down by 1. Duchesne up for Jesper Brad. He's hit hard center right. Taken by Matthews. Long pass up for Keller. Keller in the zone. Keller takes a shot. Saved by Swayman, and he'll hold on. 11:24 left here in the 3rd period. Brady Tkachuk absolutely levels him. Verhaeghe and Matthews will take the face-off back in the LA zone. Face-off won by the Snipes. Dylan for Tkachuk. Tkachuk's shot goes wide. Unable to hold on. It's taken by the Quakes. Anderson. Anderson for Dunn. Dunn's hit, but he's able to hold on. Dunn for Ovechkin. Ovechkin for Verhaeghe. Verhaeghe, he's hit. Taken by the Snipes. Austin Matthews in the zone. Looking for a lane, takes a shot. Stick save, and it goes wide. Picked up by Anderson for Dunn. Dunn for Ovechkin. Ovechkin will gain the line. Ovechkin looking for a lane. Shot. Save Bobrovsky. Defender's doing a great job of limiting the space. Great pass, but not much on the shot. Scheifele and Crosby will take the face-off. Face-off is won by the Quakes. Sanderson. Sanderson for Doughty. Doughty for Kucherov. He's hit. And recovered by Dillon. Dillon's pass broken up. Taken by Panarin. Panarin shot. Save. Rebound is picked up by the Snipes. On the boards for Miller. Miller's hit. Sent up for Terry. Quakes just absolutely bullying the Snipes. They dump it in. They'll give chase. Taken by Doughty. Doughty for Kucherov. Kucherov in with Crosby and Panarin. Back for Sanderson. Sanderson through traffic. Puck will come out. They'll have to touch up. 6:30 left here in the third period. Snipes need a goal to keep their season alive. Up for Larkin. Larkin's shot is blocked. Panarin up for Doughty. Doughty will gain the zone. Doughty pitched into the boards, just burning clock. Ekholm up for Terry. Tired legs out there for Terry. He's easily hit off, taken by Nelson. Nelson, unable to get a shot. Taken by the Snipes. Up for Cirelli. Cirelli for Bukestad. Shot is saved. That goes back to the point for Fox. For Ekholm. Ekholm shot, saved, rebound. Picked up by the Quakes. Hampton up for Weneski. Weneski. He'll carry it in. 3.5 left. Pass broken up by Cirelli for Ekholm. Ekholm for Bukestad. Bukestad gets it up for Stamkos. 3 minutes left. Cirelli. Pass is broken up. That's up for Hamilton. Hamilton for Boldy. Boldy for Konechny. Konechny's hit. Save Bobrovsky. Clayton Keller up for Matthews for Fox. Snipes running out of time. 2 minutes left. In the zone is Fox. Fox looking for Matthews. Matthews slap shot. Glove save Swayman, and he hold on. 1:19 left. Huge face-off coming here in the LA zone. Matthews and Duchesne. Full pressure for the Snipes if they win this face-off. Face-off is won by the Snipes. For Keller. Pass broken up by Duchesne. Taken by Matthews. Full pressure for the Snipes. They get the puck. They definitely pull the goaltender. Roski still in. Bratt with a breakaway. Save taken by Forsling. Forsling up for Thomas Harley. Net is empty to our left. Puck comes out. They'll have to touch up Forsling. Forsling for Harley. Harley harassed. Snipes looking to set up for Fox. For Fox for Tkachuk. Tkachuk's shot is blocked. Held in by Heischer. 30 seconds left. Ekholm. Harley shoots. He scores! Thomas Harley with the heat seeker blast to keep the Snipes season alive. Thomas Harley from Ekholm and Heischer right here in the third period with the goaltender pulled. Clutch goal there by Harley. Still plenty of time for another one, but we could be seeing our first overtime of these playoffs. With the Snipes season on the line, the defending champions not looking to get swept here. Snipes' odds were not looking good from the beginning. The 6th seed, barely squeaking in a berth here in the Kobe Cup playoffs. 27 left here in the third period. Sanderson for Panarin. Panarin in the zone. Panarin turns it over, taken by Pettersson. Battle for the puck is Crosby for Panarin. Panarin shot save Bobrovsky. He'll hold on. 15.5 left here in the third period. Face-off back in the San Jose zone. Will they live to see tomorrow? Huge face-off. Crosby and Heischer. Face-off is won by the Snipes. Taken by Heischer up for Tavares. 10 seconds left. Tavares for Harley. Harley for Pettersson. Henderson in the zone, looking for Forsling. Forsling, 4 seconds left. Take the shot. Save Swayman. And ladies and gentlemen, we will have our first overtime of these COVID Cup playoffs. It is win or go home for San Jose. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back with the start of the third period. We're tied at 2.
Flawless with the flow. One verse costs $250, not a couple hundred, that's $250,000, ho. And I need that bag right, I need it right now, I need it now. My stock going up. Your shit going down. Need my M&M's all one color, that's yellow. At night I'm serenaded by violins and cellos. Big boy eating good shit, gourmet. Got a sous chef, his name Jorge. Got a pull-up bar in my doorway. I ain't used this shit, I gained more weight, I'm still flexing. And they been peeking.
That?
I got that ice and I got that stick, so I'm triple deaking. Got that math, the boy been geeking. 6 carry the 1. This shit ain't even. Man, they been boring, they been bland. Your boy that spicy, this that seasoning. I strut my shit when your bitch around. Call me the alpha, the biggest roof. My dick on hang. Call him Mr. Cooper. This shit ain't the same. My shit the future. This shit gon' bang. Every track a shooter. That's 6'8". Every track a hooper. Big bags of Buddha. Zigzags of Brooklyn. They ain't want that smoke when your man's a hookah.
I got them 50-inch rims up on the bar. Gucci midget on my necklace, it survives. Big bill, spend your salary in a night. Say you dropped a milli, told that boy that shit lie. That shit lie. Told that boy that shit lie. Nothing to me, shit lie. Told that boy that shit lie. It's nothing to me, told that boy that shit lie. Got them 50-inch rims up on the ride. Gucci midget on my necklace, it survive. Big bill, spend your salary in a night. Say you dropped a milli, told that boy that shit lie. That shit lie.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Let's take a look at the stats through regulation. Shots going to the Quakes. Hits going to the Quakes by 10. Faceoffs heavily going to the Quakes, and that's going to come into big play here in overtime. It's 1 goal to win it. Will the Quakes punch their ticket to the semifinals, or will the Snipes live to fight another day? Let's get down to the ice. We are live here in your mother's hot box, possibly for the last time or possibly for one more time. We'll see. Austin Matthews, Sidney Crosby taking the faceoff at center ice. Let's get this overtime period underway. 1 goal wins it. Faceoff won by the Quakes. Hamilton. Hamilton's pass is turned over, taken by Tkachuk. Tkachuk looking for Keller. Keller shot, save, Swayman. Snipes looking to end it quick. He rushed that shot. He was all alone. He had time. Must have gotten nervous and just ripped it right into Swayman's chest. Top lines will stay out. Crosby and Matthews face off back in the LA zone. Face off is won by the Quakes. Werneski for Hamilton. Up for Panarin. Panarin in with Crosby and Kucherov. Dangerous sticks here in overtime. Shot is save Bobrovsky. At home for Tkachuk. Tkachuk neutral zone. He'll carry it in. Looking for Keller. Clayton Keller. Keller looking for a pass that he's poked off. Taken by Werneski. Battling for it. It's won by Keller. Picked up by the Snipes. Fox for Ekholm. Ekholm for Matthews. Matthews back for Fox for Keller. For Ekholm. Ekholm for Matthews. Matthews shot by Kipinen. Taken by Ekholm. Ekholm for Fox. One-time blast. Keller and Swayman gets the save. He'll hold on. 16:50 left here in overtime. Face-off back in the LA zone. Will they keep the top lines out? Looking to end this quick. Top lines will stay out with half energy. Matthews and Crosby. Face-off is won by the Snipes. Fox for Ekholm. Ekholm tries to protect the puck. He's unable to. Taken by Dunn. Dunn for Panarin. Panarin's pass intercepted by Matthews. Matthews for Ekholm. Ekholm for Tkachuk. Tkachuk in the zone. Looking for a lane. Shot is saved by Swayman. Rebound picked up by Tkachuk. Back for Harley. Harley with the game-tying goal. Pass misread. Comes all the way back to Bobrovsky. Krosky up the Forsling to Chuck. Chuck's got to be tired out there. He's looking for a lane. Takes the shot. Saves Swayman. Rebound picked up by the Quakes. Down for it. Full pressure for the Snipes. But they're unable to hold on. Kucherov. Kucherov will go ahead and dump it in. That should negate full pressure. Picked up by Thomas Harley. Harley, the hero of the late third period. Looking to keep his team alive. It's Dylan Larkin. Dylan Larkin takes the shot. He's gone! Dylan Larkin in overtime buries it to keep the Snipes alive. Ladies and gentlemen, we will see you back here tomorrow at your mom's Hot Box for Game 4. The Snipes live to fight another day. They need 2 more to punch their ticket. Can they force a Game 5 back in Los Angeles on Thursday? We'll have to see tomorrow. But thank you so much for joining us here in the Left Coast Hockey League. I'm your host, Rick Stiles. We'll be back in 15 to 20 minutes for Game 3 of the Various Island Rehabs taking on the B-War Biffs. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll be back in a bit. And Dante, why don't you go ahead and crack that bull? We're out. Peace.